Okay, what's going on, boys? NealGuides here. Welcome back to another video. Now in today's video, we're going to go over the 3-5-2 custom tactics and instructions. These are going to be different from the E-Premier League winner Damie. I'll leave the link down below in the description. Hopefully we can get him on for video next week, but this will be the balanced variation, and I'll upload in the future a defensive and an attacking variation. So the way this one's going to work, okay, is that you defend in a 5-2-1-2. And you attack in a 3-5-2, okay? Now, the most important thing, you're going to see some differences from what Damie uses, okay? The defensive style, in my opinion, for 99% of you should be unbalanced. Even myself, I use balance. Maybe for the very attacking variation, you consider pressure every touch, but, you know, you only got 3 defenders at the back. You have to be very, very careful. You don't want to be pressed out of position, okay? The width, contrary to belief, I always go for a low width. And the reason why, especially in a wider formation, what I mean by that is when you defend in a back 5, okay? Because these guys, they drop in. What that means is that the back line is going to be very much spread out. So if I just draw that line here and I draw this over here, that's how the line will look defensively. It will be very spread out. It'll basically be like this. See that midfield, that back 5? And you're creating space in between these lines. I don't want that space to be there, so I bring back the width just to about 40. Remember, even if you bring this to 1, the formation is still going to be wide. People have this impression when you use 1 width, your teams like this. It doesn't work like that. This is a 3-5-2. Normally, narrow is just a bit like that, and wide is just a bit like that. So it's just a slight deviation from what the original formation is. So 40 is basically almost like 50 anyway. Just a bit lower. You could, of course, turn this down if you want to. Don't forget, this is a balanced tactic, not super attacking, and nor is it super defensive. The depth, I always go around 50-55. The reason for this is when you're defending, you ideally want your 3 strikers to be up front towards the middle of the pitch. That way you can do driven passes and you can treat it like a 4-1-2-1-2. You know, do the 1-2s between all these guys. So like hit 55, not so far forward. You're definitely going to get exposed with a through ball because you only got a back 3. Especially don't forget when you have possession of the ball, your left back and right back are going to be here. It takes some time to come back and unite to create that back 5. So to remember that and keep that in mind. Okay, that's very, very important. You do realize that because it could definitely cost you. I'll talk about that more in the instructions as well. Now the build-up play. Now, because this is a balanced tactic, okay, there's 2 things I would recommend not using. Do not use fast build-up play in any circumstance. I'll be honest. With the 5-2-1-2, yes. With the 3-5-2, no. You're going to get caught out a lot of the time, and the attack is really not worth it because the left mid and right mid, they're not completely unmarked like in a 5-2-1-2. I would strongly recommend 2 options, okay? Balanced would be the one that I would go for most of you guys, okay? I would say most of you guys use balanced. This is the best thing to use because the game just adjusts the system. Now the difference is these pro players like Damie and everything, they know when to do these L1 triggers. They know when to trigger the players going forward. Even when I play my 3-5-2, I very casually use long ball because long ball makes the players make runs going forward. And that's what makes them build up much more quickly. So I'd highly recommend long ball. We'll go through a different option in the defensive variation, but because it's the balanced 3-5-2 for both attacking and defending, I'd recommend using long ball, okay? That's the best that I'd recommend for this system. I know no one uses it, but you'll see eventually everyone starts using it. It's kind of the same thing. People don't really test it out. Especially, don't forget, no one uses 3-5-2. I've used it from the beginning of the game, so I can understand how it works, but a lot of people haven't used it yet. They just saw Damie 1 there. Of course, they're all going to copy Damie because it's a fantastic way that he played. But we'll see what Damie says on that if he's used long ball next week. Now, for chance creation, now Damie uses direct passing, okay? Out of respect, as I said, I'm not going to show you his tactics, but the link will be down below in the description for his. Now, I use forward runs, okay? If you go on YouTube right now and you search in 3-5-2 tactics, everyone has used direct passing. That's because it's Damie's tactics. Now, last for the explanation a bit more. Now, direct passing, I've used both, okay? I've used direct passing and I've used forward runs, and I'll always tell you, both on old gen and next gen, it depends on personal preference. Seriously, it really just depends on personal preference. So I would fully recommend to just try them both and see which one you prefer. I think people that are on new gen, you're much going to prefer, definitely, I would say you're much going to prefer, I would say 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to prefer forward runs for the most of you players. But I would say for the top tier players, the driven pass, etc., direct pass might be a way to go. But I'd recommend either one of these 2. Do not use balanced or possession, in my opinion. Definitely forward runs or direct passing. The width, you can leave it unbalanced. You can also just reduce it just a little bit like I normally do to 45. Just because we're going to be using hug the sidelines anyway for the left mid and right mid. This is very, very vital. That way this team bit stays central and this team just a bit wider. And that way when they're making the runs across they'll be getting in behind from wide positions and coming inside. But that's, compared to the 3-5-2, the way it's laid out, it's not that much of a big difference. Players in the box, 7. Corners and free kicks on 1 respectively. Or both 1 actually. I normally sometimes may tinker with this, but I would say with a formation with a 3 at the back, you got to be very, very careful for counter-attacks. Do not mess around and increase these. Normally, I would say, you can adjust it to your own playstyle, but I'll say definitely don't adjust it. Now, in terms of tactics, now I know I have a 3-5-2 where I explain one of the strikers comes back and he defends in a 5-3-1-1. That will be for the defensive variation of the formation or the conservative variation. This is the balanced one, and I'm going to explain to you my tactics. They're going to be my same usual tactics, and nothing has changed. Okay. Both strikers on stay central and stay forward. Okay. I normally put one of them on getting behind. Normally, the player that's more agile, I'll leave them on balance. So, for example, Ben Yedder is a bit more agile. The ball can come to his feet and he can maneuver. Because Martial and Ben Yedder are both very, very agile, it doesn't make a difference anyway. Ben Yedder is a bit more agile, but I don't put one on getting behind and one on balance. Now, the reason why you stay central and stay forward is that these guys are ready for the counter attack. And plus, when I get the ball, I want these guys to stay central. I do not want my striker to be going into a right mid position. That's the reason why I leave it on stay central and stay forward. I want them to always be in the middle. And the cam, likewise, I put them on stay forward and get into the box for a cross. The idea is you have your 3 players, all 3 of them on stay forward. And that way you can, of course, get the ball to them very, very quickly. I just want to say this video is sponsored by FIFA School, Patreon Series, FIFA School. Link is down below in the description. We have a complete series, by the way, on this from last year, actually. And it all still applies. How to find a striker with a 3-5-2, because I know when using a 3-5-2, especially when you're passing the ball from the midfielder, for example, over here to the striker, a lot of people really struggle. Even with a cam, they still struggle to get past someone that's parking a bus. So this video will go through everything in details, and the link is down below in the description for that. And don't forget my Patreon series. We have all of this year's videos. We've got hundreds of videos. They're a complete Division 10 to Elite Division series that everyone watches, and all the rest of the videos. The most comprehensive FIFA School series. Been going on for 3 years now. So comprehensive that people are now copying the way that I do my FIFA School series. Anyway, link is down below in the description in terms of my FIFA School series, patreon.com/NealGuides. Anyway, back to the video. Left mid, right mid, both on comeback and offense and get in behind and get into the box for a cross. Likewise, as Damie very much carefully said in this video as well, that he explained very, very well, that the left mid and right mid, they run inside. He doesn't have getting behind. I put getting behind because, as I said, he's a pro player. He knows the exact time when to time those runs. And that is why I say a combination of long ball with the instructions of getting behind makes them run at the perfect time. So the idea is that when you're defending, these 3 players are all on stay forward, okay? So they're going to stay forward, okay? The left mid and right mid are on comeback and defense. So they're going to come back and when they defend, but when they attack, they're going to be making runs going forward. And if you use that in a combination of hug the sidelines, they stay a bit wider. So they make these acute runs from like these wide angles into kind of a direct inverted run. It works very, very well in that system. And that's what I'd recommend. Ideally, try to go players who've got good work rates. Ideally, try to get high if you can. I don't really play wingers here, but feel free to play the defender there. If you're using a normal 4-2-3-1, you want to slot left back temporarily that position, you can do that as well. But high stamina is, of course, important. 2 CDMs, one cut pass, next cover center, 1 7 while attacking. Same for the other one. If you do find this to be a tad bit defensive, leave this guy unbalanced, okay? You don't need to put him on get forward. The reason why is because we have the long ball tactic over here. And long ball just basically means, just for basic sense, it just means getting behind, okay? So I would suggest go into the game and use these exact cut passing lanes, cover center, stay back while attacking. Then I would say if you really need more support, look, to be honest, you shouldn't. Don't forget, this is basically a 4-4-2 with an extra cam, okay? This is a 4-1-2-1-2 with a left mid and right mid. This is a 4-2-3-1 with an extra striker. So someone that tells me they can't score with this formation, it's just, be honest, it's just frustration, okay? If you can't score this formation, that means you can't score it because it's more attacking than all this formations put together. And it's basically the best part of all this formation. So I know people can attack with this formation, but if you really want to, you can put this guy on balance. But if you do that, if you do lose the ball in the defensive phase, make sure you please run back. When you lose the ball, you have to run back, guys. You can't be aggressive. I know Damie is aggressive in that video, and you might even see myself sometimes be aggressive. But you got to be very, very careful because, as I said, it depends very much on your level. I have to be candid here because me by lying to you, sugarcoat like all these other consequences so you like me, it's not going to help you. You have to be serious. If you lose the ball and you know, for example, you're not a top tier elite division player, just run back. Because me telling you, oh yeah, do you know what? Let's be aggressive. Let's go foot to the ground, pedal to the metal. No. Because when you get countered, you're going to get done because you only have a back three. And someone who's smart is going to keep 3 players on stay forward, maybe even 4 players of stay forward. And that is why people struggle with 3-5-2. It's because they don't run back on the defensive end. So that is why I'll recommend for every single one of you to use cut passing lane, stay back, cover center. And if you want to trigger the attacker, you can do so manually with the LB or the L1 button if you're on PlayStation. So the idea is to always stay back, and therefore when you lose the ball, then you have 2 players to run back, because sometimes if this guy's gone missing and you say he's over here, then if your opponent's got the ball over here in this position, you can then pass the ball to the left back or to the left wing or his right wing or his striker. So that's why I want you to have at all times both these players here, not only for attack but also for defense. I explained this in the video as well, but you want to rotate the ball. It's very, very important that you rotate the ball as well. And that is why if you watch the 3-5-2, the key thing is, you watch even Damie the way he does it, he deliberately moves very, very slow between his 2 CDMs and triggers them forward only when there's a key chance, okay? Back 3, for this one, I would just say put them all on stay back while attacking. If you have overlap from my other tactics, you can keep it if you've already used it. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, leave it on stay back, just because this is a balanced tactic. Now, don't forget, when you defend, this guy's going to become left center back / left back. This guy will become right center back / right back. You ideally need fast players here. You cannot get away with someone who's got 80 pace. No way. I would say minimum 85 sprint speed with a shadow. I'd recommend just playing a fullback. If you have a standard 4-4-2 formation, like for example, like here, what you can do is you simply move one of your left backs to CDM and have your center back, right back, or move it to a left back position. Or you can have a versatile player like Cloud Maurice, or for example, in this case, I move Cancelo to CDM. I'd recommend fast players here. In my personal opinion, a centre back and 2 left backs and right backs is what I'd recommend. It's up to me. I would use 3 fullbacks, and that would be the tactics for 3-5-2. As I said, I had to make sure I explain it because I know the biggest, now this is from the feedback that I heard, the biggest weak points I know is that people, they struggle with the defensive mindset of this, and that is why I kept all these players on stay back while attacking. No overlap. Do you understand the reason now? And the reason why is I want you to be comfortable with the formation, because when most of you guys use formation, and even when I started FIFA 18, I used it for a bit and I was like, you know what? It's just a bit too open at the back. That's why it takes some time. You got to kind of be a bit more defensive on this end and be attacking with these guys because you already have those players in place. Anyways, that is the video. Don't forget about Patreon series, patreon.com/NealGuides for more information. We've got a complete Division 10 to Elite Division series and all the other videos. Don't forget you can sign up now. It is the 1st of April. I have all the attack patterns and all the other very attacking videos, how to defend, how to attack. Patreon.com/NealGuides. Don't get better after 1 month. I'll refund your money. That is, of course, the NealGuides guarantee. Link is down below in the description. But anyway, guys, thank you very much for watching. Take it easy. And of course, I'll catch you next time. Peace out.